hell is this? This man with a mustache on the right. He's the same guy we found murdered in the captain's quarters. He had the zero bracelet on his left arm. And the second man, with the glasses and a doctor's coat. He's the ninth man. The one with bracelet number 9.
Und der andere ist der getötet wurde anstelle von Snake. Und der andere ist Ace.
But this guy, the one in the... Oh, man. Yeah,
No doubt about it.
But what does it mean? What is Ace? Not only Ace, the ninth man. And they look happy, like they knew each other well. Why? How in the world are these 4 men connected?
You say Ace is...
Yeah, it doesn't look like it was taken. Ace, the ninth man, and Cap all look about...
Ah, so the ninth man and the man you found murdered in the captain's quarters are also in the picture?
Yeah.
Is there anyone else? Or are there only 3 people in the picture?
No, there's... He's got kinda long hair, he looks smart. He's the only one I'd...
What's the date of the...
It doesn't have one.
Did you look on the
Back.
Yes.
Huh. Praying for the success of the Nonary with Nijisaki, Kubota, and Musashi. Then the 4 men in this picture were the organizers of the Nonary. That means Ace, the ninth man, and Cap were all responsible, but I feel like I should be more shocked. It's almost as if that's just how things were always. Why? Ace was the one in charge of the Nonary project. And why? What? It's like I already...
Ah, of course. Ace was the CEO of Cradle Farms. He was the one who invented the game 9 years.
Aces?
I had my suspicion. Their voices were similar. Too similar to be. I could never forget his voice. It was the voice of the devil. I couldn't be sure. After all, I had no way to check. I certainly couldn't. Even if I had known, however, I would never have told you. Zero made it quite clear what would have happened.
Oh my gosh.
Huh?
I didn't know that Ace was...
Oh, yes. 9 years ago. You were in Building Q in Nevada, but Hongo was in the Gigantic.
I know. That's why I didn't know what Hongo... But why? I mean, I'm your sister, right?
I'm sorry, but if I'd told you, Clover, you would have told everyone. And if you did, then I would have been...
trusted ihr ja wirklich sehr.
I had to...
Hey, Junpei. You think I could borrow that picture?
Sure.
Hongo Kubo.
Hey, 7.
Shut it. Just be... I'm this close to remembering. Hongo Kubota Niji's Cradle Pharmaceuticals. No. Shh.
What?
What's wrong?
Holy shit.
What's...
I remember
Remember what?
everything.
Everything?
Yeah. I remember all... My memory's back. I remember what happened before I got...
What?
Das ist natürlich ein sehr schönes Ex Machina Phlebotinum, wenn man eine Figur hat, die alles weiß, aber es vergessen hat. Und exakt zum richtigen Moment, wo die Exposition getroppt werden kann, erinnert sie sich wieder. Das ist natürlich, ist schon ein bisschen billig, aber also im Sinne von Storytelling.
The other 3 are Musashido, Nijisaki. Musashido was the man with the cash. Nijisaki was Hongo's right-hand man. And Kubota developed the act.
How do you know all this?
Come on, man, I told you, I finally got my memory.
No, that's not what I'm trying to ask you why you knew all this stuff in the first place, before you...
You really want to...
Of course.
Me too.
This is gonna take a while. Hell, it'll probably take me a good 3 days to tell you.
Well, we don't have...
Just give us the short version.
Short version, huh? Alright, fine. I'll give it a shot. I'm a detective. It's a little awkward to say this about myself, but you could probably consider me... I hold to my own code, as I think doing what's right is more important than doing what... That's why I followed my gut that night. A slim lead. It was 9 years. The war had been cold as fuck. I was investigating a mess of kidnappings. It all had one thing in common. A history of visits to a hospital under the management of Cradle. My investigation had turned up evidence that Cradle had been in... After a little sweet talking, I managed to finally get a real lead from some... My source told me that...
Tonight, a ship is set to take the children to a large passenger liner docked off.
So I headed in the shadows. I searched the harbor until I found the ship. There was a bunch of men in black suits, many of them carrying rubber bags. There was something about the... No doubt about it. I moved before I came out of hiding, my gun already in my...
Don't move.
I felt mettled.
Drop the gun. I could kill you right now. Just tie an anchor to your feet, and no one would know what you...
He kept digging the cold metal thing. There was nothing I could do. I did what he said and laid my gun on the bin. Suddenly, there was was a sharp pain in my a drug. That was my last thought. My face hit cold concrete. I woke up on a hard... Damn it! I did a quick once-over of the room. Where am I? A small, shabby bed. A toilet with no... I'd seen it countless times. I'm in a cell, huh? Facing the toilet was a door set into the wall. I was still pretty woozy, but I made my way over. I pushed and pulled. Not like I threw myself against the door. I knew it. I gave up and made my way back to the bed. I sat there for a very, very long time. Then, I heard... The voice was far away, but I could...
Habe ich nicht exakt das hier schon gehört in dem anderen Story-Durchlauf oder fast genauso? Das höre ich doch jetzt gerade einfach nochmal. Oder sehe ich gerade nochmal.
I pressed my ear to the wall and tried to listen through. No, that's not it. Left. I hauled on the metal frame and flipped the thing. And there it was. The bed had hidden an air vent under it. The hole in the wall was covered by... I dropped flat on the... But I knew it in my gut. Hold on. But then when my inside man told me... Tonight, I Whoa. It didn't matter. I checked out the metal... I stuck my finger... And then... I finally got the... Sweat was dripping down my face. The first bit or so was tight. I had a wriggle on my belt, wind up eventually, and there was space for me to crawl along all my... I went from crawling like a worm in dirt to skittering like a bug. Couldn't say it was much better, but I'd take what I could get. And when I'd been in the thing long enough to start wondering where... A massive sound nearly scared the piss out of me. It was like a heavy metal... Then... What? I wasn't sure what it meant, but anything with instant then, almost as if that was a cue. I heard a message. A bunch of them were... Damn it! What the hell? I scrambled through the duct as fast as I could. I made a giant vacuum, but I didn't care at that point. I soon found a metal door on the left side of the duct. The kids were screaming on the other side. I found it. I yanked the handle and threw the door open. I almost ripped the metal off its hinges. What the hell is... I couldn't believe what I saw. The room had a dome up top, and there had to be about 9 walls. All up in the ceiling was an upside-down font, almost like a... I looked down. There they were. The kids I'd been searching. They all gawked up at me, suddenly silent. For the moment. Scared of the room or me, I couldn't tell. Not like I can blame them running into a mug like this when they're already scared shit. I snorted at my own dig at myself and turned to the kid. Don't worry, kids, I'm not your enemy. I'm one of the good guys. All of them stood there. Froze. Well, except one. He was a boy, slightly older than the others, in a private school uniform.
Who the hell are you?
He stepped forward and glared at me suspiciously. I'm a detective. I'm here to rescue. It looked like they relaxed some the second I got the words out.
How are you gonna help us?
Where's the exit?
There isn't one. The doors we came in through won't open, and the door...
He kind of cut himself off. I think he was considering something before he checked.
Anyway, there's no point. We can't all get out of here. If we don't get out of here, we're gonna be burned.
Burned to death?
Can't you hear it? That voice said the incinerator's gonna start up, so...
The voice spoke again.
Incineration will begin in 15 minutes.
They only had 15 minutes. I looked back down at the kids. Looks like a good 20 or 30 feet to the floor. That way I could pull them up. Too big of a distance for any of us to... What the hell was I gonna do? But then I got an idea. Wait right there. I'm gonna be right back.
What? Where are you just gonna leave us?
They just got frightened again. I'm not the best at that kind of thing, but I tried to reassure them with a smile. Don't worry, all right? I'll be back, I promise. So just stay calm and wait right there. Got it? I didn't wait to hear them respond. There wasn't time. I had to hurry. Well, as fast as a guy could on his hands and knees. Didn't take me long to get back to my cell. Still no way out of there, but I had a plan. I needed something from it. When I got it, I dove back into the hole and took off towards the incinerator. Then... Sorry to keep you waiting, guys. I tipped out the doorway and dropped down the rope I brought with me. Back in the cell, I'd torn the bed sheets into strips and tied them together to make a rope. It was sloppy. All right, just tie that around yourself, okay? I'll pull you up one at a time.
Right!
Something was off. There were more of you before. Where'd the rest of you go? The boy in the uniform answered.
I let them go on ahead. We opened the number 9 door and they left.
What? You're telling me you opened that door?
That's what I said.
Then what the hell are you doing here?
We couldn't go with them.
Why not?
Look, the only people who can go through the numbered door.
He was in the middle of explaining
Incineration will begin 5 minutes.
The wall shook a bit from the voice bouncing around.
Look, that can wait, all right? Just get us out.
Right! I grabbed onto the rope. The first one I pulled up was a girl with a ponytail. Next was a girl with a red boy in a jacket came after. He said he'd climb up on it. The boy in the uniform was the last up. Like the other kid, he climbed up the rope himself. He looked pretty scrawny, but I guess he was stronger than he looked. He moved fast, but when it was almost done, we heard some knocking. Everyone looked at the door. It had a thick, square window set into it. On the other side, an angry face.
God damn it! What's going on here? Why is the room empty? Where the hell are those fucking...
The door opened, and a man stepped in looking half... I recognized his face. I saw him many times. The man's name was Gintaro Hongo, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Hongo saw the boy hanging from the rope. Yeah! It was like he was an animal. He looked... Hurry!
I know!
The boy in the uniform booked it up the rope.
You son of a bitch! Get back here, you little...
15 feet. 10. The second I could reach the kid, I grabbed him. I hauled him up and tossed him into the dark behind me.
No! No!
Hongo had lost it. His face didn't even look human. It was like the bastard pulled off his fake face, and he was really a terrifying devil or some kind of... I quickly reeled in the rope, leaving a furious Hongo yelling at me.
You fucking bastard! You won't get away with this! How dare you!
Experiment.
Incineration will 1 minute.
Hey, old man! What the...
The boy in the uniform was trying to get... I may have thrown a salute in the raging asshole's face before I closed the door. No point to going back to the cell, so we went down the other direction instead. After about 30 feet, we came across another duct on the left. This one was heading down. I already nodded and took turns sliding down. The duct emptied us out into a narrow hallway. There was a door on either side. The one on the left was a normal double door. But the one on the right was from black and yellow stripes. And a device next to it on the plate on it read, Incinerator?
Yeah, that's where we were.
It was the girl with the red tie who answered me. We were inside an incinerator?
Yeah, Hongo might still be there. It looks like it's been shut off.
Wait, what? If he's still...
Yeah, that's...
That meant we better... We gotta get out of here. Go to the other door, hurry! The kids started running, and I was close on their heels. On the other side of the door was a large spiral stair. Run! Didn't need to tell them twice. We went up and up, and our feet pounded the steps. Our arms went round and round and round like a devil was on the tail. The stairway kept going. We passed a couple of landings when the boy in the uniform suddenly spoke.
Something's up. Akane's not...
Akane?
My kid's sister. The girl with the red necktie.
Akane. I didn't remember seeing that name on the list of missing kids.
Hey! Akane!
He kept his hands around his mouth and yelled.
Maybe we outran her.
The boy in the uniform skidded to a stop. I stopped too. So did the other two. When did we do that?
Well, we passed a couple big rooms on the way here. Maybe she took a rest in one of them?
No, that's impossible.
Sorry, Grandpa. You keep going. I gotta go look.
He turned to go. Hey, kid, wait! God damn it, I don't think the kid even heard me. Fuck! I spun around to the boy in the jacket, and the girl with the pony. I'm going after him. You two keep going, all right? The girl nodded and ran up the stairs.
I'm going with you.
I didn't have time to argue. I just nodded and took off down the stairs. We ran all the way to the bottom floor, calling for her. Akane.
God damn it, where the hell did she...
I could tell the kid was frustrated, and then suddenly...
Help me! Somebody!
We heard a girl's voice.
Akane!
The boy in the uniform threw open the door and leapt into the hallway by the... We rushed in after him. I couldn't for the life of me believe what we were seeing. That bastard Hongo had Akane by the arm and was forcing her into the...
Come on, goddammit, move!
No, I don't want to! Let me go, please! Let go of me!
She planted her feet squarely on the floor and was struggling to get away. But Hongo was bigger and stronger. My brother roared with anger and charged.
Help me!
Ah! You're too late!
Hongo lifted Akane bodily into the air and threw her. still fighting him, into the incinerator. Before we could even blink, Hongo had left through the door after we saw him land inside. And then, we ran to the door. We did everything we could think of to get the thing open, but...
Ah! Fuck! It's no use! Goddamn...
He started slamming his fists against the door. He was close to shattering his knuckles with how hard he pounded.
Akane!
Her voice was muffled, but all of us could hear the sheer terror.
What did I do?
Where's Hongo?
He went out the other door.
What?
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been automatic incineration. Will please evacuate the repeat. Emergency incineration command has been...
Are you fucking kidding me? It's the same damn thing!
Are you there?
Yeah, we're here. Just hang on, all right? We're gonna figure out...
His words would have seemed like a sick joke to her if she'd been able to see how white and bloodless his face was.
Incineration will be 17.
I'm really scared. I don't want to die, please. I don't want to die.
It's gonna be all right. I'll figure something out. I promise. I promise, okay? You hear me? I promise.
It was torture listening to her sobbing on the other side. Her brother was nearly crying himself. He could only stand there, fists clenched so tight his knuckles were...
What happened then?
Come on, man. Put yourself in my shoes. It doesn't end good. You think I want to remember that?
Then...
Yeah, shit. If I'd known it was gonna be like this.
Hey,
Huh?
look, I don't want to ask this either. There's something I don't... So if you could just... Did that girl...
Yeah, I'm sure. There wasn't anything we could do. And we heard something. The fire stopped, but we still didn't move. Me and the jacket kid were frozen. The boy in the uniform collapsed as if he couldn't hold himself up. A few minutes passed. The door opened. The boy in the uniform tripped over his own feet. We followed. The air in the incinerator, every breath made my lungs feel like they were on... It was like standing on hot asphalt. The air was... And in the middle of the... There it lay. The kid... Finally, he reached it. He fell to his knees as his legs gave out on him. And then...
Can I ask you...
What's that?
The girl, Akane.
What does it matter to you?
Just tell me, okay?
Kurashiki. Her name was Akane You were there that day, weren't you? The tall kid in the jacket. That was you.
Yes, it was. You are correct. Don't misunderstand me. I told you before how Zero threatened me. There was no... I couldn't say anything about what happened 9 years...
So you're saying you're not working for Zero, right?
Of course not.
Clover, what about you?
Hey, come on! I told you before, you idiot. I did hear that a detective rescued the kids on the bus. I didn't know it was you.
Well, alright, let me ask you another question. Santa's real name is Aoi. He's Akane's brother. You know that?
No.
Well, yes. I know Aoi Kurashiki, but I didn't know he was Santa. At least 9 years ago, he was in the middle of puberty. His voice is... I'm ashamed to say that even my exceptional hearing wasn't able to make that. As such, I had no reason to think Santa...
When did you figure it out?
Clover told me that Santa might have been one of the subjects of the initiative. It was only a short while ago. When she told me that...
Santa is Akane Kurashiki. There's still a lot, a lot. But there is one thing I think...
What's that?
The body we found in the shower room. It had to be Nijisaki, dressed up to...
What?
Come on, man, what kind of detective are you? You didn't figure that...
Hey, go easy on me, man. I just got my memory back, alright? Got me some...
Well, if he is, the 3 murders make sense. Yeah, that's right. Murder. Kubota blew himself up, but that was murder too. So why did these murders take place?
If Junpei is correct, And the body in the shower room was Niji. That means all of the people who were murdered were involved with the creation of Kubota, the person who conducted Nijisaki, Hongo's Musashido, the man who
You mean this was all just revenge? Santa is Zero. He's getting revenge for the death. That's why he killed them.
No, I don't think Santa actually... If I'm right, then it's not hard to figure out who the next victim's gonna be. I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
The next target will begin
The person who planned the Nonary project.
In other words, Ace.
What? What the hell's going on here?
It must be 6 a.m.
Oh, shit! Come on, we need to get out of here.
How?
I'm betting this sucker. Come on, let's go.
Leute, das war jetzt echt nochmal eine Menge an Informationen. Keykarte 0. Zero. Ich verstehe immer noch, aber es wird mir wahrscheinlich erklärt werden, wie sie das überlebt hat, ob sie es überlebt hat, was es damit auf sich hat.
I think the shit.
It would seem so, but we are yet to be...
You're right.
This exit needs the Uranus card too. Hey, June.
Yeah, I know. All right, it's... Okay, Neptune Key, let's see if you work. Yes!
It says incinerator. So this is the incinerator.
This is the first time I've seen it from this side, but yeah, I think so.
Then there ought to be a lever near the door.
Yeah, right here.
Pull that and the door should...
Got it. Let's go.
Da ist Santa,
What the hell is going on?
June. Haben sie sich von Ace überrumpeln lassen?
What's wrong? Are you okay?
Jumpy,
Of course I did.
I'm so glad you're here.
Hey, what happened?
I just fainted. I'm feeling a lot.
Are you sure?
Yes. I just need to rest a little longer. You shouldn't worry.
Santa.
Hey, where is it? Where's the gun?
I got sucker punched and
What? Who took?
what? Isn't that
I took the gun. Just what the hell do you think? Or maybe I ought to say Gentaro Hongo. See, you have me at a disadvantage. You know me. But do you have any idea how much I've suffered? Can you...
The pain of prosopagnosia.
Another irrit. And how do you know that?
Good question.
No matter. If you don't want to answer, it makes no difference to me. This is a waste of time anyway. First is, give me your hand. 8. And with this... 9.
The ninth man.
I believe I've won. I've had quite a time playing with you. I must thank Zero, I suppose.
Wait, what? Ace doesn't know who Zero is. What the hell are you planning, Santa?
At any rate, this I will escape. And the rest of you will have a slightly less... I suggest you enjoy. Goodbye. Wait! What? Why isn't it... What? Now open! No! What? That digital route should be 9! It has... Then why? Why isn't it... Now! No! Ugh.
Oh, that was close.
Don't mention it. Just one punch ain't enough of this. After what he did 9 years ago, I ought to rip it. If a suspect can't talk, they ain't much. Once he's locked up in a cell, we're gonna... Yeah, you finally...
Ace, you killed Kubota, Nijisaki and Musashido, didn't you?
Den ersten hat er reingetrickt, den zweiten den Kapitän. Wann hat er den Kapitän getötet? Als wir den Raum untersucht
Wait.
haben.
Oh, right. All right. We'll just go through them and let's start off with Kubota. You talked to Kubota and managed to
Oh, jetzt
convince
nochmal
him
so
to
ein
go into
ewiger
door 5
Exposition-Dump. Man hat's doch mittlerweile
alone. You
verstanden.
killed him without making it. The way I figure it, 1. In the Nonary game, the
Es ist
number 9
kein
is
Exposition,
dangerous.
es ist einfach. Exposition wäre ja Erklärung für was folgendes. Es ist einfach
Whoever
wiederholen.
had the 9 bracelet could join. Adding 9 to any number doesn't change, which means that you wanted to remove 2.
Ey, es klickt
You
jetzt
wanted
einfach
them
weiter,
so
weil
that you
das
could-
ist.
In fact, 3. Even if his
Wer
number
das
hadn't
bis zu
been
diesem
9,
Punkt des
Kubota
Spiels
was a
nicht
problem.
verstanden hat, der sollte vielleicht dieses
He
Spiel
knew
nicht
your
spielen.
past. He knew what had you needed to silence him. 4. But last, you convinced him to break the rules so you could. That was why you killed Kubota. Next was Niji. While everyone was on, you ran into Niji-san. However, because of your chiefly because that was why you.
No, why?
I'll get to that. Anyway, Snake was. You remembered him, but his presence. Snake was one of my sons. But if that's true, is he keeping quiet, or perhaps?
Ich stelle mir gerade das hier auch als Szene vor. Ace liegt da so verletzt oder so am Boden und Junpei steht daneben und erzählt hier seinen ewigen Monolog hier drüber. Es fühlt sich halt auch nicht sonderlich natürlich an.
That was when you decided the murder weapon was. You just waved it over. Verified your own. Then, when the door opened 9 seconds later. And then 81. And poor Niji-san.
And you mean to say... Sorry to disappoint... Thank you for killing the wrong man. But I can't say... Although, to be honest...
Last but not least, when Clover and I were investigating the chart room, you came over. Do you remember what you...
Oh, a pocket watch.
I handed it to you. You had been in charge of the... Of course you would have known the solution, which would mean that you also knew how to get out. All you had to do was place the watch in the...
Okay,
the door open, you could enter the... Musashido conveniently... You picked up that axe and buried the blade. One blow was all, and then you returned.
There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei.
I had no reason to... When we stepped inside, remember how you pulled out a piece of paper, the one I used to... But that wasn't really what you were... Your true purpose had been to slip the watch in... It wasn't a very... You must have been desperate, but what made you willing to risk it all? Ace, Musashido's murder is the only one I don't understand. You
Because of this.
What's with the paper?
Just...
Let's see. Number 1, there are 2 ways you might survive this ordeal. The first is to win the Nonary. The second is for you to confess your sins of 9. I have prepared a camera in the captain's quarters. The images captured by that camera will be streamed through a satellite and distributed. Simply look into the camera, and once you have confessed everything, I will release you from this. To make your confession more credible, I have left you a witness in the Perhaps he will confess with you. The decision is yours. Do it. 0.
When I awoke in that room, I found that in my... That was why I chose door 1. If I went through that door, I knew I could get to the captain's... As you said, I knew how to enter the wheel. My plan was to find the pocket watch before... If I could, then my... At least, that was... Unfortunately for me, that sleight of hand was the best I could manage on...
You meant to kill him from the beginning then?
I only knew Musashido was the witness after I reached the... I asked him, and he seemed groggy. Perhaps he had only just awoke. I suppose Nijisaki was in much the same state. He seemed confused and disordered. But yes, you are correct. I intended to kill him from the beginning. I proceeded to the captain's quarters in order to remove this...
Ace, you figured it out. You were being manipulated.
Yes. I was little more than a puppet. Everywhere I went, everything was already... The Reds in the large hospital room were dismantled. There was an axe in the captain's quarters. Musashido was delirious from the Nijisaki as well. In retrospect, but yes. Yet it was Zero's trap. And I fell for it, hook, line.
Yeah, by manipulating you, Zero was able to kill 3 people. All of this was revenge for what... That's why this Nonary game happened. Am I right, Santa?
Huh? What the hell are you talking about?
Ain't no point trying to play dumb anymore, Santa. Actually, I guess I should call you Aoi. My memory came back to me, kid. You're Aoi Kurashiki. Never thought I'd be back in this room talking to you. But hey, I guess this was all part of your plan. After all, the person who planned and Zero's.
Looks like you really do have your memories back. Well, I guess there's no point in hiding it then. Huh? Yeah, you got me. I was one of the kids in the Nonary game 9 years. I made it out. So did... But there's one thing... No, I guess there's... Number one, I ain't Zero.
What?
Ja, June ist Zero.
Wait, what? Sure, I was helping Zero out, but I'm really more of an
Ja, das sag ich ja schon seit 10 Folgen oder so.
An assistance only. I didn't come up with all this. All I did was follow Zero's orders.
Then, if you're not Zero...
Calm down there, Junpei. You made one more mistake. Junpei, you just said all of this was revenge for what happened 9 years ago.
Es ist nicht Revenge, sondern mein Motiv ist, seine Schwester zu
That's
retten.
why this Nonary game happened, but that's not it. Revenge, there's another reason you guys were playing the Nonary game. To save someone.
Save
Seine
someone?
Schwester, die verstorben ist, aber auch irgendwie nicht richtig verstorben ist.
You were
Das
brought here to help my sister.
ist irgend so ein komisches Time-Paradox, ja.
Save Akane.
What the hell are you talking? Akane Kurashiki died 9 years ago in this room.
Irgendwas über morphische Felder über Zeit. Aber ich verstehe noch nicht so ganz genau, wie
Where is
das...
she? Where? Oh.
7!
I don't know. I just... Oh.
What was the no? I'm sure you know already, but I'll tell you one more time. It was a project designed to test a particular... What was that phenomenon? For
Ja,
two
morphische
organisms
Felder.
to communicate with one another. The morphogenetic field. Could human beings use these invisible fields to
Exchange information over time.
That was what this experiment was conducted to determine. There were 2 separate locations. One was the gigantic, and the other... The 9 children trapped in Building Q were faced with numerous puzzles. Copies of identical ones. They were told to...
Was ist das? Ja.
The transmitters were put in Building Q, and the receivers were put on the gigantic. Each sibling... But there was a mistake. Akane was a transmitter. She should have been in Building Q. For some reason, she was placed on the gigantic with the receiver. Perhaps she was mistaken for someone who was supposed to be in group. Whatever the case, Akane ended up... I think I've told you enough. You get it. I'm pretty sure you know where this is going to.
Where what is going?
Don't play dumb. You know things you shouldn't. Things... How did you know Ace had proso... How did you know why Ace wanted to kill Kubota? And how... Were you surprised when you found out Ace was... And what about the coffin Snake was trapped? How the hell did you open...
Well, that's...
He knew because I knew. Junpei was receiving information that I sent to him through the morphic field set. Stell dir einen Fluss vor, der sich in 2 Wege vor... Ja, wie ein Y. Ja. Ja. But I'm different, I can... I know what... I...
Freeze.
Bye.